Bienvenidos! Welcome to this episode of the Lonestar Halo Podcast. We're going to talk a little bit about the Giants series, and we're going to talk just about the state of Angels baseball, where we are right now. Are we getting too ahead of ourselves, or are we all buying playoff tickets? All that and more coming up.
One, two, three, go! From Texas to Anaheim, we're bringing the heat. Todd and Fernando got the news every week. Walk-off strikeouts, who's making a name? Who's in the clutch and who's taking the blame? Lone Star Halo, fucking baseball, here we go. Big hats, bad calls, who's gonna rise and who's gonna fall?
And welcome everybody to this episode of Halos in the Infield, the Lonestar Halo Podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Now make sure to check out our sponsors. We'll get into all that, but 714 Tickets, Brewheim, and Underdog Fantasy. All right, so we're going to talk about the Giants series. And in case you're wondering, yes, I am here alone today. Now, Todd had a little bit of a situation that we'll let him explain if him and his family feel inclined to. But we will get to that. I'm sure you guys will hear something about that in some capacity. But we're going to talk about the Giants series because I am the first show to have the honor of coming on right after that series. Now, Angels played a hell of a series. We're going to get into it, but let's start with game one. Now, Zach Neto came back in full force. Gotta love that from Zach Neto. The guy is great. The guy is talented. He is fun to watch. My favorite Angel currently, if you want me to be very honest with you, I just love his panache. The guy brings it. Team bring it, if you will. And you got to love that from a young guy like Zach Neto. He has the ability to be the franchise cornerstone post Mike Trout. Mike Trout is still here. He's probably going to be here as long as Zach Neto is, bearing any kind of contract extension, which I'm hoping is not too far away. I mean, you saw Jackson Merrill, the Padres, who they felt was Rookie of the Year out in center field. Obviously, he didn't win. Paul Skeens won, and they gave him an extension. Now, the Padres have been known to do that, give premature contract extensions. Here's the difference, though. I don't think it's premature with Zach Neto at all. Now, Zach Neto has already been around for, a minute. I think some of us forget that he's currently, working on his fourth season? I'm going to look that up. But obviously was drafted and came up pretty quick. The guy's 24 years old. And he already has quite a few Major League Baseball games under his belt. He has a total of 242 games up at the Major League level already. So let's go ahead and talk about the immediate impact he had on Friday's game. Now, he came in, it was the second inning. He got a double, and let alone the fact that he kind of forced that double. And then on a fielding error, was able to make it 2-0 quickly. So, it was that fast. So, he got an RBI double, 1-0 Angels. Pretty soon after, it's now 2-0 Angels off of a fielding error. I love his aggressive base running. There's sometimes that Eric Young Sr. has some questionable decisions out there when he sends people. But so far, that has not been the case with EY. And I love the aggressive base running. Look, there's a time and a place for it, right? If your team isn't scoring, or for instance, the Texas series, the Texas two-step was very, very difficult for the Angels, did not have very much success in Houston, winning one game and then getting swept here in Arlington. So with that being said, you got to be a little more aggressive, right? Yes, it's still early in the game, but you're forcing the Giants to make the play. Due to the error, they didn't make the play. The Angels make them pay for it. And bada boom, bada bing, it's 2-0. Zach Neto doing his little stinky. I don't know what that was. Anybody who's on the audio side, he just covered up my nose and fanned the air. That's what he did, man. You got to fart every time you're going to score an RBI. Then great, man. Whatever you got to do, that's fine. I don't know what the celebration is, but you know what? I'm here for it. You can do whatever the hell you want if we're winning games. And that's exactly what happened on Friday. Neto making his presence known pretty quickly. Now, man, it was very, very hard for me to not spoil the news on Thursday that Neto was coming back, man. We're not newsbreakers. We've said that before. We have inside sources. That's why we have inside sources, because we don't spill the tea. So I alluded to it. If you look back at our tweets, I was like, oh, hey, big things coming. Oh, it's going to be a big series. Just trying to allude, like, hey, man, Neto's coming back. But, also trying to honor our sources. But, when there's something exciting like that, like my favorite players coming back, a lot of Angels fans' favorite players coming back, there's a lot of excitement, so it was just really, really hard to not say anything, because believe me, I really wanted to. We're not newsbreakers. But you know what the breaking news is? The Angels found a way to bust it out 2-0. Besides that, let's not take away from Tyler Anderson's performance. Let's give him his flowers. The guy pitched a gem. 6 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts, and his ERA is currently at 2.08. Now, there's going to be a lot of Angels fans out there who are like, well, we saw this out of Tyler Anderson last year. He made the All-Star team in Arlington, and then, he once again turned into the Tyler Anderson that we've known here in Anaheim. Look, here's the thing. Shut your ass up. And number 2, appreciate the ride that Tyler Anderson's taking us on right now while he's doing it. Look, this Angels starting rotation, more or less, pretty good. There's been some hiccups. Kyle Hendricks, I'm looking at you. And we're going to talk a little bit about him almost immediately. But he's kind of been the outside looking in, you know what I mean? He's certainly not having as good of a year as some of these other players are. Kikuchi, once again, we'll talk about him too, continuously gives the Angels a chance to win. Tyler Anderson doing the same thing. Konowitz, hit or miss early on. But the point is, overall, as a starting rotation, the Angels are giving the offense an opportunity to win these games. And that's the reason why we've had such a good start. Clearly hasn't been a perfect start. I mean, we're nearly 500. We are just slightly over, obviously. We'll get to that too. But the fact of the matter is that the Angels are playing overall good baseball, right? Have they hit a lot of home runs? Yes. But also, and this is kind of silly to say about a team who's top 5 right now in home runs, but it's hard to also say that this team solely relies on the long ball. Are they scoring a lot via the long ball? Yes. But we've also seen them embrace some small ball, and I am here for it. And I love the fact that they're embracing small ball. A lot of us have been begging for this for quite a while. Now, as if the starting rotation hasn't been enough of a positive, the bullpen, pretty good as well. I'm a little more worried about the bullpen long term. But Burke came in after Anderson. Zephyr gave up a run, but then Kenley Jansen came in and secured his 5th save as an Angel. So the bullpen has been helping bridge the gap and get the Angels to those wins. Now, Kenley Jansen, we said during the HITI Hot Take show with Vince and I. If you haven't listened to that, make sure you take a listen to that. Always stay plugging, ladies and gentlemen. But listen to that if you haven't already. But what we said in that was that Kenley Jansen has been the best acquisition for the Angels of the offseason. Now, there's going to be some people that say, well, Fernando, that's not really a hot take. This is kind of lukewarm. Well, guys, we're a little over a month into the season, and we're saying that he's going to be the best acquisition. We said it now. The season just started. But the fact that we now have some peace of mind out of the back end of the bullpen is great. You have a lockdown guy. He's not going to blow a lot of saves in theory. Will he blow a couple? Of course. He's entitled to a bad day. We all are, right? But, Kenley Jansen overall has been great. Now, before we talk a little bit more about Kenley Jansen, before we talk about Saturday and Sunday start, let's take a quick second for me to take a water break, and we're going to play the ads. So stick with me for a minute here. I'll be right back.
Brought to you by 714 Tickets in Anaheim, your trusted source for Angels tickets at unbeatable prices with no hidden fees. Whether it's home or away, they've got your seat covered. Visit them at 2424 East Catella Avenue, Anaheim, or online at 714tickets.com. Mention HITI and get 10% off your purchase. And Brewheim, Anaheim's premier craft brewery, pouring fresh, locally brewed beers in a welcoming atmosphere for Angels fans and beer lovers alike. Stop by their tap room at 1931 East Wright Circle, Anaheim, or check them out at brewheim.com. Mention HITI and get 10% off your tab. The OC Dugout, your one-stop shop for officially licensed Angels memorabilia, custom jersey framing, and exclusive autograph signings with your favorite players. Visit them at 1928 East Center Street, Anaheim, or online at theocdugout.com. Support the businesses that support Halos in the infield.
All right, guys. Sorry. When we do these solo episodes, it gets kind of hard to keep the momentum going, to stop my mouth from getting dry. It's always the hardest thing. When Todd's here, we kind of talk back and forth. Someone talks for 2 or 3 minutes, and then we kind of go from there. Now I jumped the gun, and I was talking about Saturday's game already. But Kyle Hendricks, I wanted to talk about him. Now, full disclosure, Saturday, I didn't watch it all. Okay? I didn't. It was WrestleMania Saturday, and we had some friends over. So, we were paying attention to that. But I did want to talk about the fact that the Angels, so they lost 2-3. The only offense was Mike Trout, right? Okay. So Mike Trout was able to hit 2 home runs. He was literally just about the Angels' only offense. I think Rengifo got a hit, Ohapi got a hit. But overall, it was really just Mike Trout with those 2 solo shots, his 7th and 8th of the season. Now, what I wanted to bring up was Kyle Hendricks, okay? So in 4 games, he's pitched 20 innings. He's 0-2 with a 4.50 ERA. Now, this guy is getting $2.5 million, okay? So let's not pretend that's a ton of money, right? I mean, to you and I, the common folk, $2.5 million is a lot of money, right? We would love that. But for these Major League Baseball owners, it isn't. The fact of the matter is that Kyle Hendricks is one of the lowest paid pitchers on the team, who's not in arbitration or pre-arb. So with that being said, it's very, very hard for me to just say, let's give him the grill master, right? The DFA treatment. I don't think he's deserved that. I don't think he's earned that just yet. Now, if he keeps trending in this direction, perhaps. But I'm not there yet, right? And I don't think any of you guys should be there either. And look, the fact of the matter is this. 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 3 runs. They were all earned. 2 walks, 1 strikeout. Okay. Look, with a 3-run outing, your starting pitcher is giving you the opportunity to win a ball game, right? In my opinion, a major league offense should score 3 runs minimum a game. I think that is a very, very good average. Because I get it. You're going to have some games where you get shut out. That's just baseball. That's just the nature of the beast. Some days you couldn't hit water, you fell off a boat. As a team. And that happens. Okay. But there's going to be other days where you score 10, 15 runs. You know what I mean? It's a merry-go-round. Everyone's hitting. I want to ride the pony. Well, guess what? I want to ride the giraffe. And you're going to have everyone fighting. I want to ride the zebra. I want to ride the wildebeest. I want to ride the monkey. You name it. Everyone's going to run and ride it. And that's just, once again, that's baseball. That's the nature of the beast. But I think 3 runs, if your starting pitcher does that, especially if they're 5, 6, 7 innings even in, okay, that's good. They are giving you the opportunity that your team needs. So it's tough to argue with that. Now, one of the stats that I hate is quality start. You hear it all the time. Hey, he got a quality start. He pitched 6 innings, gave up 3 earned runs. Look, here's the thing. If you have a quality start every single time, your ERA is still going to be like in the 4s, the 5s. Like, your ERA is not going to be good if you give up 3 runs every single time. So there needs to be a balance. You need to be able to have 7 innings of 1-run ball. And you need to, of course, you're going to have those where you give up 5 runs in 6 innings. That's, once again, the nature of the beast. I'm not here to dispute that. But what I am here to say is, you know what, guys? Let's rein it in a little bit. Be a mime, grab the rope, haul it in. Because at the end of the day, Kyle Hendricks is earning his paycheck, right? We don't exactly know what's going on behind the scenes, and we're probably never going to know what's going on behind the scenes. Why? Because our press doesn't exactly poke the bear with the stick. But I would like to know, hey, what is Kyle Hendricks bringing behind the scenes? Look, every team needs a designated vibes guy. And if Kyle Hendricks is our vibes guy, then so be it. Personally, I think I even said it during the off-season show. I could see him at some point being more of a spot starter / long reliever in the bullpen, kind of what Reed Detmers is. And perhaps that's maybe the plan of the organization. They haven't given up on Detmers just yet. And judging by his outing on the Saturday that we're currently talking about, they're probably not going to give up on Detmers just yet. But, man, he was pretty lights out. Look, Detmers gave up a single walk, and that is what he did. And our boy Detmers even got 2 strikeouts. That's not bad for 2.2 innings. He's currently got a 2.70 ERA on the young season. And Ryan Johnson, man, give the kid some credit. He got lit up his very, very, very first outing, right? And since then, really hasn't done that bad. In his last 7.1 innings pitched, 1.23 ERA. It was those first couple games where he pitched the 9 innings where he got that 6.0 ERA. But like I said, last 7 games, 1.23. Give the kid some credit. Not only does he have the cloud of being the compensation pick for Shohei Ohtani, he had 0 minor league games. And he's killing it, man. So, this was just one of those games that the offense just didn't help the Angels at all. It was literally just Trout. It was the Trout show. It was the Han Solo Trout show at that. Mr. Han Solo hit 2 solo shots. And that's another thing I'm going to talk about, okay? So, in Mike Trout's 14 hits this season, where we currently sit, 8 of them were home runs. Just in case you're wondering. So the bulk, that's like what, about 65%, 70% of his hits this year are home runs. It's got to be a bit of a red flag. No, the rest of them are singles, I believe. So with that being said, Trout needs to pick it up, right? His power's there. I don't think anybody denied that. I don't think anybody doubted that. We know that Trout can hit for power. But Trout, you have to be able to put it together with guys in scoring position. Now, if your offense is, absent and you are the offense, then great. He had a chance to tie it, and he would have tied it if it was later in the year, but the ball just simply didn't carry for that third potential home run. I think it died pretty close to the warning track. But he gave it a ride. I tip my cap to him. Like I said, there's going to be some days where a team needs that one guy to step up. And in this case, it was Trout. Try to put the team on his back, and in this case, it just wasn't enough. But like I said, you got to give Kyle Hendricks some credit. 5 innings pitched, 3 earned runs. Okay, gave you a chance. Detmers kept you in it. Definitely gave you a chance. Ryan Johnson kept you in it. Definitely gave you a chance. But wasn't enough. The Angels lose 3-2 in Saturday's game. All right, one last game to talk about. Sunday. We're going to cover it right after this Underdog ad. Give me 40 seconds.
Hey, Todd, what are you looking at?
I'm looking at the Underdog app sponsored by Halos in the Infield. Actually, you can punch in HITI and get the promo code 20% earnings on your first bet via Underdog, the app. And also, they match 50% up to $1,000 winnings if you place bets. You could put them on players. You could put it on teams. It's a nightly thing. It's so easy to play, but also gamble responsibly. All because of Halos in the Infield and Underdog, the app.
Underdog, the app. I like how he does that little thing where he's all like smirking. He's all, I'm just looking at the Underdog app. Anyway, so give me a second here to cover what happened on Easter Sunday. Now, there's a lot of people who celebrate Easter for a variety of things. Maybe you like candy, maybe you like the Easter Bunny. Maybe you celebrate the religious aspect of Easter. There is no right or wrong way to celebrate Easter. But for those who are religious, right, you're celebrating the resurrection. And that's what most people are celebrating, the resurrection of Jesus Christ. But for people who aren't religious, but are Angels fans, you are also celebrating a resurrection. Now, give me a second. The resurrection of the Angels, man, they were down and out. Let's call it what it is. They were so down and out. So it was, the 7th inning? I stopped watching. I did, my girlfriend was working. She works at a 24-hour unit, so I'll leave it at that. So she had to go into work. So I had the house to myself with our dogs. And I thought to myself, man, it's WrestleMania night 2, but I got some Angels baseball to watch. The Angels are going to lead me to WrestleMania. So I watched the game, and I watched till about the 6th inning. I watched until like the 3rd inning, and then I walked the dogs. I had it playing while I was going for a walk on my AirPods. And then I stopped like watching dash listening. Like I think it was like the 8th inning. I tweeted whenever it was. And I had said, well, I guess it's time to stop watching and turn on the WrestleMania pre-show. And some guy responded with, if you're not going to watch the whole game, then why do you have an Angels podcast? Well, I got some bad news for you, okay? A lot of people who have Angels pages don't watch every single pitch, okay? It was Easter Sunday. I don't live with my family. They're all in California, right? My girlfriend are here. Like I said, she was working. So with that being said, how many people didn't watch it all because it was Easter Sunday and they were enjoying the day with their family, Easter dinner, brunch, church, whatever people do on Easter Sunday, right? Egg hunts. So not everybody was watching this whole game. Hate to break it to you. On top of that, like I said, it was WrestleMania night 2. It was like, I think, 20 minutes away from starting. So God forbid I was actually excited for night 2 of WrestleMania, and I was actually wanting to watch part of the pre-show because, this put this game on ice. Look, I get it. This is a different Angels team than it's been the last couple of years. I will give them credit. There's a lot of games already in the early going out of these, 11 wins that they would have been down and out in previous years, especially last year, because last year's Angels team was not good at all. You know what? It was bad. It was bad last year. But this team is at least fun to watch. They might have a bad game, but they're fun to watch. Even Saturday, they had a chance, right, when they lost that game, the middle game of this Giants series. So, yeah, I was out, and Todd left the game early too. Guys, you know what? He was with his family. The guy was tired. You know, they had the HITI tailgate the night before at Brewheim. So he wanted to go too. You know what? People are entitled to not watch every single pitch. And so it just pissed me off what that person said. It was like, you know, I get it. You shouldn't let it get to you. But, I mean, come on. Dude, how unrealistic is that? I had Angels season tickets for 5 years. I was living in San Diego. I would drive up about 50 times a year to go to Angels games. And you know what? Out of those games, I didn't miss a single pitch. If you think I'm being dramatic, the games that I was at, the 55 one year, and I think another year was 53. And then it was 50. Didn't miss a pitch. You know, I wouldn't go to the bathroom, and if I did, I made sure that I could literally just run back. So I think literally out of those 5 years, games that I was physically at, I might have missed a total of like 5 pitches ever during that stretch. So call me dramatic if you want. Hey, I got plenty of friends who can vouch for me. But anyway, the Angels offense resurrected, and they won on Easter Sunday. Now, that 9th inning was crazy. I will pull it up here, and we can pick it apart. So, in the 9th inning, Nolan Shanuel got called out on strikes. There was 1 out. There was a runner on first and second at this time. Logan O'Hoppe singled on a ground ball to the left fielder. Elliot Ramos, Mike Trout went over to third. Jorge Soler went over to second. Zach Neto got hit by a pitch. Mike Trout scored. Jorge Soler went over to third. Kevin Newman went over to second base. And the bases were loaded for Joe Adell. Joe Adell doubled right over the third baseman's head, hit that little gap there. Everyone came around. Zach Neto came in, scored safe at home. And, I mean, that was it, man. These Angels fought back in it. Now, I really wanted to talk about Yusei Kikuchi. Now, Yusei Kikuchi, once again, gave the Angels the opportunity to win this ball game. 5.1 innings pitched. 0 earned runs. He did give up 1 run, but it was not earned. 5 hits, 6 strikeouts, 4 walks. Now, the 4 walks are a little bit concerning. But at the end of the day, we're talking about a guy who's got a 3.38 ERA. That is not bad in any way, shape, or form, dude. Give the guy his flowers. He's earned it so far this season. He's just had a lot of really bad luck. He's yet to win a game for the Angels, but none of them are necessarily his fault. Through 29 innings pitched, he's given up 11 earned runs, 14 walks, a little bit. His strikeouts are 28. For some reason, the earned runs and the strikeout flipped in my mind, so I was about to say, about a run per walk. But no, that is inaccurate. Like I said, 11 earned runs, 14 walks, 28 strikeouts with the whip of 1.26. But Yusei Kikuchi has given the Angels an opportunity to win every single time he takes them out. Now, all you can say about that is the team appointed him as their A-word, quote-unquote ace. I don't think he's that. Maybe in theory, because he has the most experience, you could say, okay, sure, he's the highest paid pitcher we have. Okay, I get it. On paper, yes, he can be the A-word, but I mean, it's Jose Soriano right now. I believe it's his job to lose. But I like so far what I've seen out of Yusei Kikuchi. Do I want to see him take the next step? Yes. Do I want to see the offense start giving him some help? Yes. But at the end of the day, there hasn't been a lot of junkers that he's thrown. Opening day was a pretty good start. How much does it suck, man? He finally gets a home start, and it goes like this. But you know what? At least it was a game the Angels won. They are currently 11-10 on the season. They are third in the division. I'm happy where the Angels are right now. Call me crazy if you want to, but 11-10 right now for this team isn't bad. They're 1.5 games out of the division. And, it's too early to be looking at things like that. But what I will say is it's not far-fetched to think that this team is going to be playing some meaningful ball games come August. Look, if we can get to the beginning of August and then the middle of August, and there's still competitive games, and I mean the Angels are within like 3 to 5 games of a playoff spot. I'm talking the Angels are losing 3-2 like they were on Saturday, where, they were seemingly out, but they were never out. That South Park meme, I hear no bell, you know what I mean? As long as they're doing that, where there's no bell that's dinging, where they still have a legitimate chance to strike and win a ball game, that's what I want, man. That's what I want. I want to know that these Angels can compete. Not this year. That would be crazy. And if they do it, great. I'm not going to be crow if they do, because I have been cheering for a playoff series, as have all of us for years. Man, I would love to take out my Halo Hawk. I would love to fly out to Anaheim for a playoff game. Believe me, if that's the case, I will do whatever I have to try to get out there. But right now, let's worry about these young guys continuing to progress forward. Let's worry about these veteran guys continuing to help push the young guys to get better. And let's worry about playing competitive games. If you're going to lose games like Saturday, 3-2, I can live with that. If you're going to lose games 3-0, but you're continuously in it, I can live with that. I can live with the shutout here and there, as long as they are competitive games. Look, Friday, just some gritty hitting by Zach Neto and some good pitching. Give them a 2-0 win. 3-2 on Saturday. Just one hit away, right? One big hit away. Trout just missing that third home run and tying it. Who knows? That could have changed the whole course of the game. And then Sunday, just some gritty baseball, man. It wasn't sexy. It wasn't flashy. Joe Adell didn't hit a grand slam to win. Would that have been great? Sure, of course it would have. But you know what? I kind of like those shots down the line. I kind of like those gap shots more for walk-offs, because then you have that anticipation of, oh my gosh, the ball's in the gap, or it's rattling around the corner, it's near the foul pole. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? That's exciting. And you know what? I did miss it. And I'm glad I did. Why? Because the Angels did it. You know what, man? It's not always about watching every single pitch, but it is about celebrating those little things, man. It's about turning on my phone and being like, oh, man, I missed it. And I went and immediately watched it. At that point, WrestleMania was just starting. So I would have turned it off even if the Angels were up 3-2 and Kenley Jensen was in, because it's just, WrestleMania, it happens once a year, right? Or I guess now twice a year, because it's a weekend. But you get the point. I digress. But the point is, guys, the Angels are playing some good baseball right now, some fun baseball, because it feels like right now, truly, they might be down, but they're never fully out of these contests, and that's fun to watch, because that's not something we've been used to for quite some time. That's going to do it out of me today. Thank you guys for suffering through this with me. If you did, these solo episodes are a lot harder to do, so I give everyone who does them credit. Dominic is great at them. Joe's great at them. James is great at them. I'm not. So I appreciate you guys for sticking with me. Rob as well. When he does his podcast lives, when he helps us out with those. But see, a post-game show live is a little different. It's a little easier to do it, because you have the ability to, watch and, react to your comments and take phone calls. But yeah, it's a lot harder when you're doing just a whole show here yourself. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. On behalf of all of us here at Halos in the Infield, thank you. Make sure to give us a 5-star review down below, wherever you get your podcast. Review us. Follow us on all the social medias, Halos in the Infield. Make sure you check out all of our sponsors. Brewheim, tell them we sent you. Halos in the Infield. 714 tickets. Use code HITI, HITI, yeah, at checkout. And the Underdog Sportsbook app. Make sure to use code Halos. Once again, we are HITI, yeah.
Lonestar